Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Marlena and I'm here to talk all things books. This is my first video, so I'm really excited to see where this takes me. I've been reading for as long as I can remember. I've read probably 1,000 books at this point, at least ones that I've been tracking. And I just want to talk about books. I love talking about books. And one thing about me is I can relate to those people who want to spend all of their time reading, but they can't because they have obligations, they have work, they have family. Some of them are just even overwhelmed, just like me in general, every single day. But the good news is, even reading one page a day, one chapter a day, one book a year is an accomplishment. So if you are a hardworking person who wants to find time in the day to read, whether it be a page, a chapter, whatever, this is your channel. So first and foremost, a little bit about me. As I said, my name is Marlena. I grew up in upstate New York. I've lived here for approximately 38 years. And I have always been an avid reader. I do actually write as well. I'm working on my first novel. We'll see how it works out. And I just love all things bookish. I love cozy fantasy. I love mystery thrillers. I love contemporary fiction, literary fiction. I read pretty much anything. The only thing I haven't really gotten into is sci-fi, but I am interested in joining the ranks of the sci-fi readers. I just really need a very good book to start that. So if anybody has any recommendations for people who are trying to get into sci-fi, please let me know in the comments. So to start off with my first video, I thought it would be a really good opportunity to talk about some of my favorite books of all time. And let's start with Strange Sally Diamond by Liz Nugent. I still think about this book literally every single day. I'm not even joking. I love this book so much, and I am a fan of Liz Nugent in general, but this book really, really stood out to me. You're following a woman whose father had passed, and the past kind of comes back to her. And you find out some interesting things about Strange Sally Diamond. And I'm not going to go into too much detail in this video with these books because I do plan on filming some future books to highlight some of these in other categories. But this is a really great mystery thriller. It left me on the edge of my seat. It is fairly short. It's just a little over 300 pages, so certainly a manageable read. The chapters are pretty short, so you could probably read a chapter, I'm guessing, in a couple minutes. So if you're the kind of person who is looking for a super quick read, something unputdownable with short chapters and amazing characters that you'll be thinking about even after the book is done, this would be my recommendation. And by the way, these are in no particular order. They are in the order that I placed them on the table beside me. So next, we have Garden Spells by Sarah Addison Allen. This book is a little over, I believe, 280 pages or so. So it is pretty short. It's a very, very quick read. It's told in alternating points of view. It's a feel-good kind of found family, witchy vibes. I do love witchy vibes. That's one thing that you will expect from me is my love for all things witchy vibes, whether they be romance, whether they be historical fiction, whether they be horror. I do love a good witchy vibe book. And this certainly has it. So it's about the Waverly family of North Carolina, and they have a family garden. And there are two sisters who grew up around this garden, and one sister had moved away when she was much younger, and the other sister stayed. And it talks about, there's some family secrets in there. There's some found family vibes in here. There's some romance. It's just wonderful. I am just rambling on at this point. I'm so sorry, but great book. Next is Black Cake by Charmaine Wilkerson. So this is also about family secrets. You sensing a theme here? I do love a good family secret book. When present-day California, Eleanor Bennett's death leaves behind a puzzling inheritance for her two children, Byron and Benny. A traditional Caribbean black cake made from a family recipe with a long history and a voice recording. This was so, I felt all the feels reading this book. I cried reading this book. It was just, there was a lot of family tension. There was a lot of love in this book, I felt. So, amazing read. Charmaine Wilkerson, Black Cake. Now, this one, a lot of people, when they think of Gillian Flynn, they think of Gone Girl. However, when I think of Gillian Flynn, I think of Dark Places. Dark Places is probably God tier for me as far as books go. This book is what got me into reading mystery thrillers. And since I've read Dark Places, mystery thrillers have had a huge piece of the books that I read. In this book, we have Libby Day, and Libby Day is, she's kind of an unlovable character. She kind of is. She's having a hard time. Libby is having a really hard time. And Libby, when she was younger, her family was a victim of a murder, multiple murders, I should say. And there, because that had happened, she had gained some followers, so to speak, and she decided that she kind of wants to bank on that. She wants to make money on the fact that that her family had gone through this tragedy, and that opportunity is offered to her. Libby starts looking into the past and starts realizing that things are not all that she thought that they were. And I'm not going to say any more than that. I probably have already said too much, but this book was phenomenal. And this had a twist I was not expecting. My jaw literally dropped on the floor. I feel like it came out of nowhere, and it did have the same effect as Gone Girl, but in my opinion, this is better. And also, if you like Gillian Flynn, I would highly recommend Sharp Objects as well. But to me, Dark Places is her best book. Now, I understand this book is a hefty book. And if you don't have a lot of time to read, if you're just trying your best to find time to read during the day, this book can be a little overwhelming. I completely understand that. But this book has very, very short chapters. And no matter what, whether you read it over the course of a couple days, a couple months, a year, you're still going to get an amazing experience. In my opinion, this is the best book that I have read possibly in my entire life. This is a new favorite. This is All the Colors of the Dark by Chris Whitaker. And yes, this book is large. This book has a lot of pages, almost 600 pages to be exact. In this book, you follow two children. One of them is Patch. He is a local boy who saves a girl, and in doing so, leaves heartache in his wake. And yes, I am reading out of the jacket because I'm a little overwhelmed at this time making my first video. It's very hard for me to remember things. I'm sure I'll get better as it goes along. So just stay with me, please. So in saving this girl, essentially, Patch sets his life out on a tangent that is unexpected, and not just his life, the life of other people in the town too that are connected to him. This spans over a large length of time. And if I were to describe this book, I would say it is a cross between Forrest Gump, the movie, and the Shawshank Redemption book or movie. That is how I describe this book. So if you love either one or both of those movies and you appreciate the the trajectory of the story of those, I would highly suggest this book. Phenomenal. We have another big one, and I am so sorry, but I promise you it's worth it. Promise you. If you like fantasy, The Will of the Many. Oh my God, this is by James Islington. This was my first foray into fantasy. This was actually a gift that was given to me by my mother-in-law for Christmas last year. I had no idea what I was going to get into when I read this book because up until now, or up until this point, I hadn't really read much fantasy. This book was amazing. Okay. I think it's like 639 pages or some ridiculous thing, but it's very digestible. So even if you're only reading one chapter at a time, I think that you could very easily keep your place. And it's the magic system is I absolutely love the magic system. I feel like it's very easy to understand. The world building is really good. I do love the world building. I do love the main character. It takes place in the elite Katanan Academy, where a young fugitive who goes by the name of Vis, he is basically trying to navigate his way through the academy, and he has a secret. Another book about secrets. I love it. He's got a secret, and this secret is a big one, and it can affect a lot of things and a lot of people. I did not expect to like this book. I really, really didn't. I'm glad that I read it. I'm very glad that I read it. This is actually the first of two. The second one, The Strength of the Few, came out late last year. I have not read it yet. I'm excited to read it. I want to read it soon. And I will let you know if I like it as much as this one. On that note, so those are my books my all-time favorite books that I recommend. Talking about future videos, and yes, I am going to read this because I am an anxious person. I forget things a lot. So I wrote them down, and I will be talking about what videos I want to do in the future if this all plays out. So just a few. I would like to do a mood-based TBR for an overwhelming month. We all have those. We all have overwhelming days. We have overwhelming years. Let's be honest. I'm very much a mood-based reader. So anybody who is a mood-based reader like me would hopefully like this video. The worst books to pick up when you're exhausted. There are books out there that will make you not feel as exhausted or not contribute to the exhaustion. That's where I'm going. They will not contribute to the exhaustion. Okay. Books that require too much brain power. That's a big one. How many times have you picked up a book thinking like, oh, I'm really going to like this, and then they start talking about like calculus and things that you have no idea how to decipher? And I'm not downing anybody who reads books that have calculus in them or about, no, absolutely. If you love it, read it by all means. Myself though, I can barely add. Okay. So anything that requires me to use my noggin to figure something out or to, think too much, or that is going to end on an ending that you have to like figure out how it ends. You know what I mean? Like it's not straightforward and you kind of have to like think of, yeah. I mean, there are good uses for those books and there's a time and a place for those books, but not when you're exhausted. Okay. Books I could only read because they were short. That's a big one. I've got quite a few of those actually. I'm actually really excited to do that video. Books that pulled me out of a reading slump. There's nothing worse than being in a reading slump, especially if you absolutely love reading. I just feel like when I'm in a reading slump that it just makes it worse. It just makes the overwhelm and the anxiety worse because books are where I go to escape, essentially. They are where I go to recharge. So if I can't recharge in that environment, not good. Not good. And then what's one more? Let's see. Ooh, I like this one. DNFs I don't feel bad about. I recently, and I mean recently as in the last year or so, started DNFing books. I felt so guilty beforehand DNFing because you spend your money on them. You know, people spent so much time writing and editing and publishing and all of that, and you kind of feel guilty about it. But you know what? Life is too short to read boring books. And if you just aren't feeling it, if if you feel like you're going into a reading slump, it's not worth it. I'm here to tell you it's not worth it. There is no shame in DNFing books because maybe, just maybe, you're not the target audience for that book. And that is okay. That is okay. So just make peace with the fact that DNFing books is all right. Okay? So, on that note, we're going to end. So, thank you so much for watching. And if you want to follow me on my adventures, don't forget to like and subscribe. I really appreciate everybody who took the time to watch my very first video, and I'm excited to see where this channel is going to go. I spent a long time thinking about whether or not I wanted to do something like this, and I figured, why not? Life is short, you know? Let's do something I love doing, talking about books. So, until next time, I guess. Okay. Thank you. Bye.